What's up, y'all? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Breakdown with your girls, Joy and Tosh. Tosh and Joy. Back at it again with you guys with another episode, and we are so glad to be here. So, how you doing, Tosh? What's going on over there? How you feeling in the Chicago?
I'm fine. I'm fine in Chicago, and it's decent. I haven't been outside since what? What was it? Tuesday. So and it's raining here too. I'm like that cold rain, and
Yes.
then don't let it turn into ice. So I'm just praying right now for tomorrow be a better day. Let me just put it like that.
Tomorrow will be a better day, man. I think it rained a couple of days ago here. I don't think I ever even went outside. Well, I
But
probably.
did it turn into ice though? Did it have that potential?
I think it was hailing. I think it was trying to hail. Is that
Oh
the same
wow.
thing? Is that no? That's not the same thing, right?
I feel like when you hear hail, it's like a weird noise that comes attached to it. Where it's like rain, it's just
Rocks, like rocks beating into stuff. Like I remember
exactly.
it used to hail really hard in Chicago, like
It
big
did.
balls. Like everybody, it used to be. I don't even know how it used to happen. It used to be like national weather, national news, or whatever. And it was like these hailing storms. I'm just like wow, and the balls just get bigger and bigger, and then out of nowhere the world just stopped hailing. Like all of a sudden, we don't have hailing anymore. I'm just like, okay, ooh, I don't know
What's going on?
exactly, man. But my week ahead's been tiring, y'all. I got a baby puppy, 8 weeks old. And his name is Hayes. He is a pit bull. He has blue, beautiful eyes. He's gray with like a um striped brownish type of like a tigerish type of feel, I guess. I don't know.
Mm.
It's slight, very thin. But man, y'all, been going through the wire with this dog.
The
Training
dog? Did
wise,
the dog sleep?
huh?
Did the dog sleep?
Sleep.
Hayes, where's Hayes at?
Oh, he's in the room right now with Vash. He's in the room just chilling. I would have him under me. Um, but I was just like, you know what? I really don't feel like it today because this man is with me every day. Like literally, he's with me under me every day. While I'm working because I work from home, and he's just there, and I'm just like, Lord. And then at my lunch periods, it's like my lunch periods is full of just training, potty training, which has not been the best, but we're working on it. We're working on it. We're working on it.
All things, it's always a transitional period. With every job you go to, you're not going to catch on day one, day two, day three, day four, day five. It's always a new period to learn into like this is the time for you to really get to understand the dog and learn his ways, and
Well, he is a
how to
puppy.
truly
Let's just say he's
express.
a puppy. So I don't know.
That's true, but even with babies, each baby is like known for having their own distinct type of personality. So I think this is a perfect time, for you since like you new to having a dog at this time in your life, and then obviously since the puppy's only 2 months old, like you really guys get to grow together.
Yeah, that's the thing that I always think about. It's just like, man, this is my little guy that I've I'm raising basically from birth in a sense. Like he's my little child. So it's like certain things that he is learning right now, he'll, soon be better in when he gets older. And then not only that, like whatever I am allowing him to do right now, he's gonna do when he's older. So it's just about setting those rules, boundaries, and in a sense really training him up and how he should go.
Absolutely.
So that's the fun part about it. And just seeing my how I've been doing with it. Like I've actually, I'm very patient with him. I have the time again because I'm at home a little more, and it's just like how consistent am I going to be with this training of this dog? It's like, am I ready to go through what I need to go through right now, so what when he gets older, I don't have to have a lot of work to do. And
Mm,
that's really how life is too. You know, from the last episode, which was titled "What Starts Off Hard Will Soon Become Easy." In
absolutely.
this type of sense, that's the same transition and translation into that as well. Um, but Yeah. And I took a nap today after work. So I know I got homework and stuff to do. So I haven't. I have been so caught up with my homework now, so I had time to breathe and spread everything out. So now, once we finish this recording, yeah, you guys, I hope you guys didn't forget I am in school. I am doing online school. I had enrolled in online school around when quarantine was the big deal. So been in school, got about 2 more years till I graduate. Yep, 2 years till I graduate. Boom, then going for higher and better. But yeah, that's been it. That's been it. That's been it. But
So Joy, so what do we want to bring to the people this time? Because technically, y'all, just in full disclosure, we recorded this episode 2 days ago.
we did. We recorded this
Two
episode 2 days
days
ago.
ago. And
Yep,
like that day when we recorded, I was dog tired.
he was.
Like
He was.
I was like, I mean, it's like everything in me to want to stay up. I'm like, okay, let's just bust this sucker out.
Yes, and it made me like think about like CPR, consistence, persistence, and that big R, resilience. So as mad as I was that I spent $89 on trying to recover some file that I could not recover, I was just like, you know what? That $89 is replaceable. Me doing this video over again is easy because what's natural to you and what you when you're walking in your excellence and when you're just doing something that you love and that you know that's going to be your passion and your career and what's going to bring put food on the table soon in your life, you don't mind doing it. I
Mm,
may be sleepy because I'm very sleepy because I have a day job, I have other things in my life, but this is my priority as well. This is number one in my life as well because this is going to be my job soon. This is going to be our job soon. Like that's what we're
mm,
claiming. You hear what I'm telling you? We're putting that into existence. Us teaching and us expressing and guiding. That's a job. And soon we will reap the rewards and we will reap the fruit of our labor. So so we had to understand we can't just be telling y'all, hey, follow the CPR. And then we don't do it. Like, what sense does that make? So that's why we back here to re-record another video. And then we talk about our topic, which is I guess I gotta get the topic.
oh,
Oh,
you trying to throw it to me?
yeah, I was, but I got it. I got it. It is.
Yes, you got it. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah, I got it. I got it. They can't see what you see.
Mm,
And I think it's good that we re-recorded it because I think I was in a place at the time of the first recording in a defensive sense.
mm,
But I wasn't. Yeah, yeah. Let's keep it there. Yeah, I was defensive because there were reasons for me. Um, well, what I felt was really reasons for me for moving down to Atlanta, and one of the main reasons were one, I had always wanted to move out of state anyway. Always anybody asks you when I used to a lot of my school traveling, I was going to like Virginia, North Carolina. So I was going to the east anyway. But I never thought about Georgia. I never thought about Atlanta. So that's for one. I wanted to just leave. Two, I saw black excellence everywhere. What really inspired me was Married to Medicine, and I saw black doctors, black women who, dentists. Sorry, uh, pediatrics, the ones that help give birth to the babies. So it's just like,
OBGYN.
yes, OBGYNs. And so I'm just like, wow, I ain't never seen this before. So like really, I had never seen this before. And so I was like, but they live in Atlanta. I'm like, what is down here in Atlanta? Because I keep hearing about Atlanta just being like this hot topic and hot place. So I went on ahead and just started thinking it up. Honestly, I was thinking about it all the time. And then I was like obsessing about it because I'm always just like, man, if I could just get down there, man, if I can just get around more people like that, man, if I can just, and just kept thinking about it, kept thinking about it, kept thinking about it. And soon enough, everything aligned itself for me to get to where I needed to go. And I went through some craziness to get there. And I didn't even know that that was that I was following that journey. And sometimes that's the thing. We don't even know that we be following the journey, that because we already have the vision of what we want. And see, the thing is, it's really true. You make the plan and God directs your steps. So you're already looking for it because you're already visualizing it every day. So now, attraction, things start falling in line because now you are taking those steps and going towards where you need to go. And you don't even know half the stuff that, sometimes the stuff that you're going through is because there are certain things that you pray for. And you just didn't think that that was the path that you had to take to get to it. And you don't even know that in that path, anytime I don't even see, and that's great that we re-recorded this because I didn't even think about this. Like, and I think I talked about this before though. But it's always good to have refreshers. So what I was just thinking was that everything that we pray for, do you know that what you pray for, you're really not ready for it yet? Does that make sense?
Mm. It makes sense. I can see
Because
that.
it's something that you desire for. Anything you pray for is the desire that you want and that you feel as though that you don't already have. So that's why you're putting in a petition for it. Praying is asking for something and requesting for something to be done to additional for you. So when you're praying for something, that means there's something that you don't already have attained. So you have to work towards that. So when you pray for something, yes, your prayer is answered right then and there. But what do you have to do? You got to get to it, right? You got to work those steps. At halftime, you don't even know you're working those steps. You don't know that because your prayer is answered as soon as you said yes, and God said yes and amen. That's how quick his promises are. Yes and amen. He's already said, okay, I'm pointing you in the direction to that answer. I'm pointing you in the direction of preparing you for that answer. I'm pointing you in that direction to go for that. And so y'all be wondering, like, man, why am I going through all this stuff? What did you pray for? Examine your prayers. Examine the remembrance of your prayers. It's just that real. And so that's why that's why the thinking of the vision, what we saw, what we see every day. See you over there nodding, Tosh, you in agreements. How you feeling over here?
I'm in agreement because too, I'm still, even thinking about what I said last time, in that prayer space because you constantly seeing the vision. Um, and like, you the one like the tip of the triangle, seeing the vision and whatnot. What you praying every day, like you were saying about us not being ready upon the time in which the prayer is made or supplication or petition. In that, every time you pray towards that prayer, every time you put space, you allow space to put yourself in alignment with that vision. You're essentially triggering the vision, and that was the one thing that we broke down before. In times when it's rough or in times where you're not sure, trigger the vision by making space through prayer, supplication, and meditation on such vision. After you've already written it down and made it plain, make space so that you can trigger the vision either in times where it's, when you're down, or in times where you're confused about, what's next. Or if you're in the middle of something and you're not sure if you should go front, back, middle, side, or in times where you feel like you want to quit. During those times and that vision that was given to you, being that you the only one that see it, that's the perfect time for you to go right, like Joy said, because we may not be 100% ready for it, but something in us is prepared for it if we only go through the line. And in order for you to be able to like truly execute on following the vision, is triggering the vision in times of doubt, in times you want to give up, in times where you like not say you doubting, but you're just confused. You need
Yeah,
clarity. So I think right when Joy was saying about us not being 100% ready, we need to be aware that by following the vision, like Joy said last time, that's a step of faith. And by triggering the vision in times where we may not be necessarily walking, but we're on our way towards it,
Mhm.
it'll allow us, and it will, cause us or compel us to continue to walk in walk in faith, and eventually reach that vision and make the vision become clear. Because eventually we have to go from writing it down, making it plain, to us now acting in it and allowing our faith through works to show itself made whole.
That's right. That's 100% right. That is 100% right. And then not only that though, y'all, and I think from just personal experiences, is not allowing people to interfere with those visions. And to remember that this is what we even said in the previous in the recording but that got deleted is that sometimes those visions that God gives you, He doesn't give to everyone else. So they can't see what you see. They don't understand why you have it, and you have this passion, you have this desire. They don't see what you don't see what God put down in their heart, and they don't see what God put down in your heart. Now, there are some people that will keep encouraging that vision. Like, for example, Tosh has always encouraged every one of my visions and walked with me with every one of my visions, versus someone who would say, hey, you know what? I don't think this is a good plan for you. And sometimes you got to be careful because what we call that is contamination, asking for too many opinions. You don't need anyone's reassurance. We said this before. You don't. If you know what's in your heart and you know that's where you're supposed to go and you know that feeling is correct, don't it doesn't matter what anybody else has to say. And that's why they say a lot of times people tell you keep your stuff to yourself. Just let your actions do the talking. Don't bring up nothing. Just operate where you need to operate and they'll see it when they see it. They'll
And truly
understand
too,
when they see it. Mhm.
I'm sorry, and truly too, another thing that just came to mind, and I'm kind of glad we re-record this. I know the last one was just really like, we hoping that this one's like it has increased the vibration. But like if you truly walk in the vision and like your spirit, like in your spirit man is truly down and out and you feel like you about to give up, I truly believe that, in the ether, God's spirit will bring someone automatically to encourage you and to lift you up. No words need to be said. I'm pretty sure some of you have had those serendipities or coincidences. Oh wow, you just bump into somebody
Mhm.
and they just give you a random encouragement
Mhm.
and that leads you the next step to go further, to go higher,
Mhm.
to endure to the end.
Yep.
So by sticking to the vision and walking in faith, everything that you need shall be supplied unto you.
Right. That's right. You know what? Let me let my seat down a little bit. My seat is a little high. It's cutting my head off. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I had my seat up. But yeah, and not only that, like it always that as well. And to continue off of what Tasha's saying is that with that and I think with me, I had I think a lot of time, and I think a lot of people can relate to this is just wanting to please the ones that they love. They want every decision that they make to be based off of the acceptance of the ones that they love because they felt as though, and sometimes it can be what we always have to consider is the reason why we feel the need to have to please everyone. Why is it that I have to make you feel good about every decision that I make? Where did that come from? Why do I need to feel like if I don't make you happy, then there is nothing else I need to be doing here?
Mm.
Where did it come from? Now, if you want, in my opinion, I think, and you could let me know if you this is something you agree with as well, is that sometimes it comes from the stem of not feeling like you're good enough.
Mm.
So you find yourself constantly trying to be that person of, I have to make everybody like me. I have to make everybody feel good because what I did before was just not good enough. I don't know if I'm hitting it how I should be hitting it, but I know what I'm trying to get at. So That's
I
okay.
mean, I get what you're trying to say too, and then another thing is too is that like those familiar pressures and stuff like that.
Mm,
Depending on like, cause some people like they might know 100% in and out that they good and this that, and the third about whatever decision that they make.
mm,
But you got some people out here that they not only are dependent on their family to bring them well wishes due to pressure, but also let's say their mom is the one bankrolling that situation for them to go to college, to do this, to do that. So then you got those other pressures for some people that that may make them feel compelled to that they may have to, report to them,
mm,
and to be, pleasing
mm.
them too.
Okay. I see that. I see that. Because they've already invested so much into them, they figure, okay, I owe them this. I owe them me doing what they want me to do, or me constantly coming to them for that reassurance, because they're the ones that's my meal ticket, basically. You know what I'm saying? This is my
Yes, in
plan.
that. So definitely with that, and plus too, like I was saying with the whole pressure thing, like yes, some people may feel they owe them, and then on the other end, for some other people, they may feel like I may not be able to maintain a certain lifestyle or a
Mm,
certain access
mm,
if I don't go this route.
mm,
So it's both. So it's both what you just said there about a person feeling like they owe somebody that, as well as for some people it's about that lifestyle. It's about that access. It's about what I mean, those basic living necessities. Like if they feel like they fall off, then they won't be able to continue. I mean, these are just a few of the many reasons why we feel like we must please other people outside of and ignore the vision
mm,
that the Most High gave us clearly.
mm,
I mean, think about Moses when he left Egypt after he, clocked off that Egyptian. He had it made. He had it made with, living in Pharaoh's house and whatnot. And then he made that decision, you know, once he did hit that Egyptian and once he did recognize his people and whatnot, left out his mother's house. Once he made that decision to, no longer align himself with the Pharaoh's house and align himself with his true heritage, a child of God through that bloodline, things have to change. And I really think too, the reason why he did that was because he was the only one that can see what the vision was.
mm.
His mother, meaning like the mother who took care of him, couldn't see the vision that he was given once he realized who he truly was and who he truly belonged to. And it is at those moments and not that we are called that we're at a crossroad. Once you get to that crossroads, is it gonna be left? Is it gonna be right? And I think at the end of the day too, we really gotta submit ourselves and say, do I truly believe in God? Has he really shown me his heart? And then once you get to that question, yes or no, if you truly believe he's shown you his heart, then you have a decision to make. Is the comfortability of the lifestyle, the comfortability, or is the calling of you feel like you owe them greater than the call or the vision that God has given to you? Spirit, ether, universe, however you want to, label it.
Hmm. What if it is, though, that it's not so much of the heart being given, to you, but you giving the heart to God, or you giving to your heart to whatever, universe or whatever you believe in. So it's like, I think it's the testing of your dedication to the vision.
Absolutely. I feel
Yeah.
like they, in many ways, they definitely relate, if that
Mhm,
makes any sense.
mhm.
I wasn't trying to say it like that to divide it away from the
Yeah,
personal
yeah.
relationship, but like, absolutely. I felt like, like I said, in many ways, they are like one and the same. Like, so let's say maybe if you don't have those familiar pressures or whatnot, and you still, able to rock good, so you don't have, what I'm saying, people on you and this, that, and the third, and it's just within yourself. Because sometimes like that can go too, because you thinking you going on a certain road, you got your stuff planned.
Yeah.
You got an understanding about what you think you're going to do, and then this new
Mhm.
vision comes in to interrupt that too. That can happen as well.
And not only, maybe, and don't even call it a new vision. Maybe that's just the destination that you're supposed to go. Maybe
Mm.
you thought that this was the rotation, and or this is there's just how everything, the plan, how it was supposed to be planned out. But here it comes where, oh wait, no, you see, you thought this was the passion. So like this, let's
Mhm.
check this out. For example, and I don't mean to give off anybody's story, but if anybody follows Inky Johnson, amazing story. He thought his goal was to be a football player, to be an NFL in the NFL. He just knew that this was the way that he was going to help his family live. He knew that this was going to help the way he helped his family thrive. And then on his way on accomplishing that, going to the NFL, only had a few games left. Just need to get these few games out the way, and boom, he's signed. He's a millionaire right off a signature. Okay,
Mm.
one of the last few games that he was playing, he got extremely injured, where it left his left arm, left side, almost left side of his body paralyzed. Now his right now he has like a paralyzed arm here, but from everywhere else he's cool. And he had to go undergo so many surgeries. And not only that, that he almost lost his life. That was the day he could have died. And so now who he is, he's an inspirational speaker. He's a motivational teacher. So you know what I'm saying? We have to understand the very things that we think is the gift or the passion that God it wants us. That may not be the direction he wants us to go. So we have to understand that even follow in your obedience, but always follow through and through. Because if the end of the day, Inky Johnson could have gave up. He could have said, man, he could have blamed God and said, man, God, I had it. I had it on the ropes. You know, had this talent. And now all of a sudden, I went through this. And like God, I was there. What happened? Like this was supposed to get my family where they needed to go. And so he's so resilient to the fact that he's just like, I don't care. If there was a reason why this wasn't supposed to happen, me messing up my knee was the reason why I was supposed to go into the police academy. I was supposed to go be a police officer. That's what I wanted to do. I just knew, you know what, I didn't know any other direction of life I wanted to go. I was just like, I want to be a police officer. End up hurting my knee. And it made me think about, if I would have never hurt my knee, I would have went and took that physical. I would have been a police officer. I would have not have worried about, I wouldn't have had time to worry about a podcast. Why? Because as a Chicago police officer, you working 12-hour shifts. You getting calls everywhere, which you're in, right? You being the counselor, you being a mediator, you
Mm.
being a bodyguard, you being everything. So like people don't undergo or understand that police officers, that's a job too. Me working at a call center, that's a job too, that deals with people that brings on that extra unwanted stress, that unasked for stress, because they still need your assistance. A police officer, you call a police officer. Why you call a police officer? Because you need their assistance. There's something going on that's out of your control that you cannot handle, so you feel like you need to get the law enforcement involved. So take it into consideration that we all are dealing with people. We all live in America where we serve people. We all are servants of people. Each and every one of us human beings need each other. As we said before, we are all in one body with different functions. Every one of us needs another. So it's just like when we put ourselves in a position of, hey, I, I was stressed out. I couldn't go through. So that brings me back. I was going off the fact, but that's why I ended up not becoming a police officer, because I messed up my knee. And as you can see here now, I'm doing a podcast. I'm expressing my true love, my true wants. I wanted to go to school to be originally in journalism, subconsciously, and that's how I'm on this microphone here now, because of just the encouragement of teachers and other people, telling me, hey, you have a voice for radio, or you're good for this, and just how you enunciate your words, and when you read or when you speak, and your diction. So it's just like, I knew speech, teaching, writing, all of that was down the line. So I saw that vision. I saw that because he gave it to me. And you know what messed me up? Not following the vision.
Mm.
Following the vision everyone else had for me, because the fears that they had for themselves, the fears that they couldn't see themselves doing what I said I wanted to do. So because they couldn't see it for themselves accomplishing, they pushed and altered their fears on, or tried to alter their fears on me. So for a while it worked. But every time I tried to operate in the vision that they wanted for me, it never worked out, and it kept just getting harder and harder for me.
And I had to pay the price every time. Every time I enrolled into a school or every time I enrolled into a program that had nothing to do with the vision that God had implemented inside of me, I paid for it literally every
Mm.
time. When he puts something in your heart, it's because he trusted you with it. He wants to be able to trust you with certain secrets that don't need to be displayed right away. He needs to have it displayed in action, not in words. So that's where I always messed up, thinking I had to share it to have reassurance. And every time I went to go share it, somebody contaminated it. So it couldn't be accomplished. So the vision that I prayed for, because he tried to get me what I prayed for, I walked away from what I prayed for because I went to go get clarity from somebody who didn't even see what I was praying for. You have to be careful. Not everybody can be trusted with your secrets, and your secrets are so valuable. Your visions are your secrets. They're so valuable. If anybody tries to touch it, then it can be affected. And you
Mm.
know, when you operate with infections, it's like, what can you do? You can't. It's nothing you can do. Nothing. And so I want y'all to just take it to hold accountability is that sometimes it's better off. Like some people, they used to tell, my mom used to tell me, I'll show you better than I can tell you.
Mm.
I'm just going to have to show you. Just going to have to show you. Because if I talk too much, you're going to give too much room for an opinion. You're going to try to put your 2 cents in there. Well, it may not work out well. You might want to have, what? Let me keep this to myself. Well, let me keep it to myself then. You know what I'm saying? Let me keep it to myself because I'm not going to take out the time anymore in my life. And I've decided that that's why some people, that's why I was saying I got to the point where this is why that some people think they're not good enough. Because
Mm.
every time they come to someone that they love or endear or trust with an idea. And don't y'all know that's how money is made? With an idea first, the thought first. So when I'm going to somebody to go share that idea, a potential billion-dollar idea, $1 million idea, and they tell me, I don't think you're gonna be able to do that. Just from my experience, I don't think that. I think that's gonna be hard. I didn't
Mm.
ask you to do it. I was telling you what I was about to do.
Mm.
I didn't tell you that I needed you to do this with me, or I didn't need you to do it with me at all, or do it at all. I'm just telling you this is what's about to happen. Don't I'm not gonna come in your realm and mess up your ideas and your visions and your goals because I'm gonna push you towards it because why? All things are possible to who? To who? To all the who believe. To all who believe. All things are possible to him that believe it.
Mm.
So why would I tell you you can't accomplish something? No, this is what you saw for yourself. This is what you saw. So go for it. Go for it.
And I'm glad you said that because earlier, like what came to mind to me was that like even right now, the title being they can't see what you see. And honestly, I feel like even in this, the fact that we got to record this again, I feel like we're the day can't see in the day can't see what you see. And what I mean by that is Joy spent $89 trying to get this software, spending time, spending energy, spending this, spending that. But the Most High, it must have been something that we said in that broadcast that was not to be repeated. Cause I know I shared some deep stuff and like it was a super duper low vibrational. And I'm grateful, I almost cried. I'm glad that the Most High said no,
Mm-hmm.
do it again, renew it again.
Mm-hmm.
So that money wasn't necessarily, I won't say wasted, but it wasn't the highest version of what this could truly be.
Mm-hmm.
And we wasn't truly at our best. I'm not saying we wasn't at our best, but I'm just saying like imagine going a step beyond what you thought was your best.
And that's what it is. That's what it is that moment when you thought you gave your full 100% and then you all of a sudden you fell on your face. Get up. I want to see that part when you get up after you said, man, I done gave 110%. Okay, get up and give 120 now. And people don't know that. They don't know. They just it's just they be like, you know what, but no, I just really gave it all. It's like leaving a bad relationship and going to a new one. You got to do it again. And then you got to do it again. And then you got to do it again. Because the thing is, it's not about how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up. How many
Mm,
times will you get up? Because as even as Les Brown would say, he said, if you fall, try to fall on your back. So what when you look up, you can see the stars. And that
mm.
you can still know that you're alive. And you can get up. Because if you can look up, you can get up. I was like,
That
oh,
was good. That was good.
oh
That was
that was
good.
no, that's just shout out to Les Brown.
Wake up, you can get up. Absolutely.
Yes.
And I was thinking about another Les Brown thing too earlier, as you were talking about, how he talks about like how many dreams and books and songs and inventions and just things that could better our lives now are truly in the grave due to
Mm,
our inability to follow through and stick with it, for whatever reason why.
mm, mm. Uh, it is interesting enough though that I think I just want to take a second to reflect and just say that I didn't think that we would still. Well, I knew we would still be recorded, but I wouldn't know that I would still push through how I've been pushing through.
Mm,
Like a lot of, and this is what I mean, where he prepares you for each moment that you pray for. So even in this particular moment of my life, we're still being prepared for that next step because this is just step one. Every day is a step by step. It's progressive. So before in my life, I think I shared before that I used to do acting and modeling, and this was back in 2015, 16, yeah, 2015 and 16. I was doing acting and modeling, and I was signed at two agencies at the time where I was lucky. I was blessed enough. My talent put me in a position where I was able to go to New York, and I was able to go and interview for other agencies, even other acting schools. I was able to do a couple of print modeling, um, uh, photo shoots, like in Central Park in Manhattan, and so when I was there in New York, my faith was like I was on top of the world because I had been so consistent every day going to my acting school. That was step one. Then went into another acting school. That was step two. And I was just going every day, studying, being consistent, and not even knowing the other opportunities that was in hold of me, one, getting signed, and then two, having the opportunity to go to a paid for, or mostly paid for, a trip to New York and to have the opportunity to be signed there as well. And so when I didn't come back signed, I felt something just kind of rip away from me. Then I tried again and I went and I did a play. I went on a audition for a play. End up getting a call back. However, I didn't end up getting into the play, but I was so happy that I got the call back and I was just like, wow. So then went to another one, back to my acting class, one of the very last acting classes I took, which was in downtown Chicago at the John Hancock building. Um, and he was telling me, he said, what it sounds like, Joy, is you went through something called defeat. And he told me, he said that if you really want, and if you're really serious about wanting to go into acting and wanting to pursue a career in your being an actress, I will go with you. He was willing to go with me on auditions. He was looking to go with me on auditions because he wanted that same accountability. And I didn't pick up on that. Just me being naive and me being confused. Why? Because before I had shared that vision with someone I loved. And they told me, you won't make that much money doing this. You won't make that much money in this field. You won't. Now you got to go to school. You got to know. So now in the back of my head, I'm still thinking about, but Joy, you done so well. But because I failed, I started thinking about those words that they told me. Well, no, you can't. Don't. This is what I'm telling y'all. Don't let somebody contaminate. And I don't mean to move on a fast pace, but I still think about it. You can rewind it. Let it digest. That I put myself in that position before, but now I'm back. You hear what I'm telling you? And I'm better. Do you hear what I'm telling you? And it's not just because of that, but I had to go through that to realize. And I went through all of that. I went through all of that. And it was until I separated myself. Because when you're walking in destiny and when you're walking in your purpose, you're going to find yourself isolated. You're going to find yourself walking by yourself because
Mm,
not everyone shares the same idea or the vision, and they don't understand until they see what they see. And people don't believe what they see until they see it. Are you hearing what I'm telling you?
mm,
People don't believe what they see until they see it. So you don't have to explain yourself. You don't ever have to explain yourself. And maybe the title of the video should be uh uh let me show you better than I can tell you. I can show you better than I can tell you. And that's all it is, y'all. Because if we keep putting ourselves in position, that's why I say now that I have, since I went through that, I guess I had to go through that. I had to feel what it felt like to be at my lowest, to let go of something that I love so much. And how dare I know what's inside of me and double and question what God put in me
mm,
to someone who didn't even see it. And it's not because they didn't see it because they didn't care, but because they had their own fears of a vision that they didn't even have. How can you tell me something that I can't do when you don't even have the vision of that?
mm,
You don't even have that. Your vision is I'm going to go in this sector of the world and I'm going to be successful in this area of the world. That doesn't mean I have to go over there either. I don't have to. They
mm,
said, what
mm,
did they say that uh was it James Earl Nightingale who said that it's not that people are it's not that people are cowards. The difference between success or accomplishments or achievement is not cowardness, it's conformity. It's wanting to be like everybody else, wanting to just operate like everyone else, not knowing really why you're doing it, but just following along the way. And it has no real satisfaction or understanding to your purpose, but you're just doing it because everybody else is doing it.
mm. And I was thinking about as you were saying here, simply I really think that, when we're given a vision and we're giving conviction behind the vision, truly that's like a really like special way in which I feel like we're called to be a gardener.
Mm,
And what I mean by that, the vision is the seed. The conviction, that's going to be your technique in terms of being able to like, master the, being the green thumb. The
mm,
vision, like I said, again, is the seed. In the dirt, deep within, meaning planting it within our mind, the dirt being the mass or the ether of our minds.
mm,
We put the seed in, put the dirt over it, and then we water it with faith by, by believing in it, by walking in it, by investing money if need be to execute the vision, by simply like, just believing in yourself that the vision shall come forth and shall grow. Making sure that you choose the right nutrients, or making sure that, the sun, which powers up the seed to open up, is just right. Because sometimes too much sun can, even mess it up as well.
mhm,
And then still walking and still learning and still, going with that, allowing the seed to take root and eventually come up, essentially as if you're giving birth to a child to come to
mm,
give birth unto. So as a
mm,
gardener, as a planner, as a person who carries the vision from the darkness into the light, remember that is your responsibility if you choose to take up the mantle to see it to the end, to become consistent in watering it, to become persistent when times go when times fail us, time will fail us, and then become resilient, like Joy said, to fall on our backs and look up again to see the vision.
yes.
And I hope I said that well. I mean,
You
simply
did.
put.
You did. You did. That was extremely that yeah, that was wonderful. I was blessed by it.
And I'm not gonna call it what you said. I'm gonna probably call it, water the vision.
Mm.
The
Water.
reason why it was given to you to the reason why you saw it is because you were assigned to water the vision.
Mm. Water the vision. Water the vision. Water the vision. Mm. Because we are the seed.
Mm,
We are the tree that must be planted to grow. And it's like you said, as long as we we'll be successful everywhere we are. We'll be like a tree planted by the rivers of the water.
Mm.
Man, always flowing, always receiving, always getting, always knowing, always accomplishing. But I guess that concludes our episode for the day. This was truly a blessing. There was no errors in starting this recording either, so that's a blessing.
Man,
And it's truly an honor, honestly, to really invoke in what the Most High will want us to even put out there, what He desired for us to have recorded, because that means someone prayed for this message. Someone has a need for an answer, whether it's going to be answered the day we post it, whether it'll be answered 10 years down the line. But there is a reason for everything that we do. Even if, like I just said, even if it does not come tomorrow, it's going to come, and the answer is going to be there. So, Tasha, did you have any closeout remarks you want to say to the people?
um, I'm gonna just say it like this: water the vision. You were given the seed. What did that be? You supposed to be an actress who will, declare the word or declare, those downloads that you were given to encourage the people. Whether that's you to become a plumber. I mean, we still got the infrastructure still must be ran. My goodness, when you look into the Bible, even the Messiah was noted as a carpenter. Things still must be ran, things still must be built. Whatever that vision or that dream or whatever it is you call to execute, just water it and know that, like George said, when you protect it, when you feed it correctly, when you do right by it, even if you fall off, just the sheer faith alone by you getting up and persisting through to the end with endurance, it shall
That's
come through.
right, y'all. That's right. But you know what? How I'm gonna do it. We appreciate y'all for listening. We appreciate y'all for listening. But what we appreciate the most is you all applying what you listen to. Stay blessed. Don't stress. Stay encouraged. Be in love. And we see y'all next week.
Five people.